Thank you so much. I really appreciate the sugar. But yeah, sorry for bothering you. But have a good one. Neighbours. Everybody needs a good Neighbours. And funnily enough, on Build Series Sydney, I'm going to be talking to a star of the hit soapy show. Her name is Charlotte Chimes. She scored the most sought-after job on Australian television in the middle of a pandemic. And we talked to her about that. How continuous perseverance in the acting industry landed her dream role. This is Build Series Sydney with Charlotte Chimes.
Hi, I'm Danny Clayton, and this is Build Series Sydney, a show that celebrates people that achieve something special, have stunned us with their beautiful music, amazing writing, directing, or even dazzled us with their incredible acting, which is exactly what our next guest has done. She's a star from the theatrical stages, a giggle magnet from the internet, and now the most interesting breakout character from internationally famous soapy Neighbours, but most importantly, just a very, very dear friend. It is Charlotte Chimes. Welcome to Builds.
Oh my God, Danny, I'm crying.
Pull it together.
That's the best intro you've ever done.
Well, I was saving it especially for you because God, I'm actually kind of nervous. Like we're friends, and I'm like, I would prefer it if I was talking to. I'd be more relaxed if I was talking to like Kate Blanchett. But because you're more important to me than Kate Blanchett, I'm actually quite nervous. There's so much I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about theatre. I want to talk to you about fan groups, not being able to kiss anyone, which we will get to. But and before I go any further, it would be silly not to ask you, where are you streaming in from today?
I'm streaming in from the backlot of Neighbours. I don't know if you can see, we're at the front of Harold's Cafe. And over on the other side is Lassiter's. There's the police station, the waterhole, and then behind me is like the lake. So we thought this would be a pretty spot, something different, as opposed to my bedroom or the changing room.
This might be a silly question. Is Harold's a functional cafe? Like, do you eat there?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
I'll get the regular. I'll get my usual.
All right, let's talk about Nicolette Stone. Nicolette is this fun, fierce, fiery character, which you just seemed destined to play. What is it about Nicolette that you love?
I mean, so much. She, like you said, she's a very fun character to play. And she's also quite, blunt. She tells it how it is without ever thinking of the consequences, which I think a lot of people would do better if they had that quality, not to be blunt, but to, tell it how it is. So she's just this vivacious, fun, bit crazy, woman who, she's complex, and she had a lot of issues with her mum growing up, and now is just trying to find her place in the world and be the best version of herself that she can be.
Do you think that Charlotte and Nicolette would be friends in real life?
Someone asked me this the other day, and I was like, hell yeah. They absolutely would be friends.
Yeah.
She knows how to have a good time. I know how to have a good time.
Really?
You do?
No.
Oh, no. Hi, I know how to have a good time.
I bet you do. Now, Annie Jones, who plays your TV mum, Jane.
Yeah.
You and Jane, or you and Annie, I should say, definitely have this really authentic chemistry. It feels real.
Totally do.
What is it like working with your TV mum, Annie?
It's like the ultimate dream, to be honest. It could have gone... I mean, you always hope that the person you're going to work with all the time, that you're going to get along, or that you have chemistry for the acting. But if anything, it's like that we really genuinely love and care for each other. So it's the best, honestly. She's amazing. Annie's amazing. Even if Nicolette finds Jane so annoying.
And furthermore, who just messaged you?
It popped up and I didn't read it. I don't know how to turn that off. Should I have turned that off?
No, it's all good. We're just like television. You know how it works. I mean, it's
Probably
funny
a
that we're
fan,
talking.
Danny, because I'm
Yeah,
famous.
so many fans. I mean, it's funny we're talking about your television mum, because before you even landed the role, I mean, your real life mum was helping you practice lines up in Toowoomba.
That's exactly what happened. So my callback, I was supposed to be in Melbourne for my callback, and then because of COVID, I was back home in Toowoomba, and they were like, we're just going to have to Zoom the callback like we're Zooming now. So it was in my parents' kitchen, because the best light in the house at 3:00 in the afternoon is in the kitchen. So mum was awkwardly like leaning across the kitchen bench, and I was on the other side with, 50 magazines with my laptop propped up on top, and then my phone like balancing on a water bottle, because they wanted me to record it on my phone while Zooming. So in one scene, I like heavily flirted with my mother, and then the other one, we had a big fight. Perfect. It's a casual Wednesday. How about you?
What does your real mum think about this? Like, I'm sure she's very, very proud. What did she say to you when you landed the role?
We both screamed. And then we both were kind of like a little bit of a state of shock, because I was home for, I got stuck back in Queensland because of COVID, and I was working from home. We had the best 8 weeks together, and it was the longest time we'd spent with each other for almost 10 years, because I moved out of home, to go study and move to Sydney. And so it was kind of, we were both in a little bit of state of shock of like, oh, so we're not going to be eating ice cream in bed together every night for the rest of our lives. Maybe Grey Gardens isn't the path I'm meant to go down. Maybe it's Melbourne. So no, but she was very excited. Everyone was very excited. It was very exciting.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you're a relatively new character, but it feels like you've already rocked the boat on Ramsay Street. So which characters do you find the most fun doing scenes with, and why?
I mean, Annie, of course, we always have a great time. It'll be funny. We'll be having a laugh before a scene, and then she'll be like, stop it. I have to focus. Don't do that. Because, I'll be riling her up in some way. And then I do a lot of my scenes are with Matt and Takaya, who are amazing. They play Aaron and David, and I love working with them. And then also, I mean, working at the hospital and having scenes with Fletch, Dr. Carl, he's always a hoot to work with. But everyone's great. And there's a few, because of COVID, we're in different teams. So there's a few actors who I'm yet to really meet properly in real life as well as on set. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Do you kind of feel like the Weasley twins currently, because you have to dye your hair now full time? Like that's it. This is you now.
Can I just say PSA for everyone who messages me being like, what color is that? It's a big upkeep. Okay. And I'm talking every 3 to 4 weeks, you're at the hairdresser getting it refreshed and your roots done. So if you want to be Nicolette Red, which is sexy and fun, just know it's a big job.
I mean, it's something that you have brought up a few times, and that is how COVID has affected Ramsay Street. And I think we should address this, because Neighbours was actually one of the first productions in the world.
The first.
Yeah, that's it, from the mouth right here. You guys started filming in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, international press has written articles about it. How tough was it to film?
Well, because I came in and they had already adapted to COVID-19 filming restrictions. For me, it was very different to any other sets that I'd worked on, but it kind of like, I imagine when things go back to normal, COVID normal, as Daddy Dan likes to say, I imagine that will be very weird for me, because it's always, this is normal for me. But we keep 1.5 meter distance. We get temperature checked when we come in every day. All the actors, the cast now get COVID tested weekly. We are now, with the easing of restrictions, we are now allowed to touch each other in scenes, but we just hand sanitize in between.
Fun.
But I guess the biggest thing is, everyone wanted to go back into production, and the number one priority of Fremantle Media and all the producers was the safety of everyone. And I've felt incredibly safe here the entire time. So they've done an amazing job at A, getting us back on set and shooting, and B, keeping everyone safe. And we've had not a problem since coming back here, which, can't be said for a lot of industries and sets around the world.
What does this mean romantically for the characters on Ramsay Street? Does that mean that you can't kiss anyone?
No, unfortunately, no kissing yet, but it's coming. But there was a big storyline that's coming out at the moment with Pierce and Dippy, who are having this, this sexy little affair. And the way that they shot it was kind of amazing. So Sharon, who plays Dippy, her husband in real life, came in and they kissed and they shot from behind. So they made it seem like she was kissing Tim Robards, who played the first Pierce, who was Tim Robards, and then we got a second Pierce, Don Haney. So, there's that whole thing of like chemistry doesn't have to be kissing. It's a whole, like, what can be said, like what tension can you create without touching? That's the key.
Yeah.
Which also is, fun. Well, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I guess the important question is, who do you want to snog on Ramsay Street, Charlotte Chimes?
Charlotte Chimes or Nicolette?
No, it's just Charlotte. Just who do you want to snog?
Ooh, who do I want to snog?
Toadfish, right? You just want to snog Toad.
Ryan does bring in a dozen eggs for me every week. I could give him a peck to say thanks. He has the best eggs. I'll have you know.
Peck is not snogging.
Snogging. Who do I want to snog? I would like to snog probably Annie. Is that weird?
Wow, what a twist.
And so sexy. And honestly, the other day I went on this like YouTube rabbit hole and found her in all of these amazing like film clips, and I sent them to her and I was like, what are these? You sexy little minx. She's got great style, Annie. She's completely different to Kane. It's funny. She said that she'll get home to Paul, her husband, and he'll be like, okay, Jane has to be left at the door, honey. It's time. Annie comes back home now.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's had a huge journey, but I mean, even looking at your journey, it's a success story that I almost feel like I was in the passenger seat for, because I watched you perform in a play called We Are the Himalayas at a theatre at Potts Point. And I remember being very impressed by your performance and watching you and thinking, oh, it's only a matter of time before she gets snapped up. And you got snapped up. And in one of the most sought after roles in Australian television. So
I know,
looking back
so
at that
lucky.
theatre time, how much do you think that performing on stage in theatres prepared you for your TV acting role?
I guess, well, it was the first time I'd ever done theatre. I'd always wanted to, but it never really happened. And then when I booked that role, it was an amazing opportunity and I had such a great time doing it. But I guess the live theatre aspect is, you have to be on every night in every scene. There's no such thing as like, a second take. And then here in Neighbours, because we shoot 6 episodes a week, which is enormous. Most TV shows film 1 episode a week. We shoot 6. So it's that whole thing of we don't have time to not be on. You get a couple of takes and you've got to bring your A game and be on from the get-go. So I guess the play really helped with that. And then also all the improv that I did, that certainly helps with that as well. Because it's like I learn my lines and then you get on set. And then in a way, it's kind of like I'm improvising within the realms of the lines and the story of the scene.
Yeah. And I mean, let's not forget Lala in lockdown. I'm sure.
I feel like pouring a vino right now.
Yeah. Your alcoholic isolation lady, which we got to see the incredible performance online. Will we ever get a chance to see Lala in lockdown again? Because quite frankly, I'm a huge fan.
I'm sure we will. I've actually got a couple ideas that I want to film when I get back home to Toowoomba, because I feel like it has to be in the same setting. And also because Mum followed, basically the way it happened was I was like, I got home from the grocery store and I was like, Mum, I've got this funny idea. Can you just follow me around the house and film me? So she just followed me around the house with her iPhone and I just started doing things and then walking around. And then, it turned out to, I think it's funny, but also, there goes that fan again. So annoying. Go away. God, I'm busy right now.
I did want to talk to you about fans because already you've got fan groups popping up for Nicolette.
Isn't it crazy? I wake up and some of the stuff I've been tagged in on Instagram, I'm like, some photos that they find that I posted 10 years ago that they then create into a GIF or a video. I'm like, wow, I feel a little scared and also elated and like, how nice.
Yeah. What is the strangest thing that has popped up online that you've been like, what? How did
Some
you
of the
find that?
Halloween pics are a bit like, okay, that I'm gonna have nightmares now. Well, I have to say some of them. Actually, no, there was another one. I did like a few posts about my Paris trip last year, and one of the photos got changed and like zoomed in on like 7 times, and I've just got these like bloodshot demon eyes. And one of my friends turned it into a GIF. So she then gifted it and then posted online, and I was like, it was terrifying. I looked possessed with the Eiffel Tower in the background.
I've got some trivia for you. Just a real quick trivia. I'm gonna drop it on you. Okay.
Is it Neighbours trivia?
Neighbours trivia.
Because that I was not allowed to watch it growing up.
I know, because it's a sinful, terrible show, which is filled with debaucherous storylines. So scandalous for a young Charlotte Chimes to watch. Okay, here it is. What is Erinsborough an anagram of?
I'm looking over at the publicist to be like, tell me the answer. You don't know either, Kel. Okay, can I pass and we come back? Is it like a timer thing?
Neighbours. It's actually Neighbours is hidden in Erinsborough.
In Erinsborough.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That was a hard question, Danny. It's like
okay. Easier ones. Neighbours became the first Australian series to establish Twitter accounts for its characters in 2009. True or false?
True.
Yes, correct. And finally, which Hemsworth brother featured in Neighbours? Was it Chris or was it Liam?
It was Liam, my future husband.
Trick question, it was both.
Oh! Okay. Oh, so I was 50% right.
You got in there. You got 50% correct. And that is the last trivia question on Neighbours. But before I do let you go, what can we expect from Lady Stone? Where is Nicolette? Where will we find her? Can you give us a juicy little teaser?
I mean, I was thinking about this earlier today because I had a feeling you'd ask a question like this. And there's a lot of things. I'll be reading a block of what we're about to do, and then it's like, oh, how is she going to get away with this? And then you read a couple more blocks and it's like, oh, she's getting away with it. And then you read a couple more and it's like, oh, no, it's Neighbours. You never get away with anything. So anything that you do will always come out.
Fantastic.
So there's a lot of like, yeah, Nicolette's got to do some redeeming in the near future.
Okay. And if we really, really, really want to get involved, how can we watch you? I mean, what time, where do we tune in? Drop us the info.
Monday to Friday on 10 Peach.
Oh, well.
And also 10 Play.
Okay.
You can watch recaps on 10 Play.
Damn straight. I'll be tuning in.
If you miss it at 6:30, you can watch it at 7.
Okay. I'm not only going to be tuning in for Nicolette Stone, I'm going to be tuning in to see the beautiful Charlotte Chimes joining us here on Build Series Sydney. Thank you so much, Charlotte. It is very, very good to see your face.
So nice to see you.